Michael Carnaval is branch manager and financial advisor. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services Incorporated, 400 Southbridge Street in Auburn, Massachusetts, 1-800-657-9126. A member of FINRA SIPC and are not deposits, not insured by FDIC or any governmental agency, not guaranteed by Webster 5 Cent Savings Bank, and subject to risk, may lose value. Webster 5 Cent Savings Bank is not affiliated with Raymond James Financial Services Incorporated. The information contained in this report does not purport to be a complete description of the securities markets or developments referred to in the material. The information has been obtained from sources considered to be reliable, but we do not guarantee that the foregoing material is accurate or complete. Any information is not a complete summary or statement of all available data necessary for making an investment decision and does not constitute a recommendation. Any opinions are those of Michael Carnaval and not necessarily those of RJFS or Raymond James. Expressions of opinion are as of this date and are subject to change without notice. Everybody, it's another Conversations with, and as you just heard, my friend today, my good friend Michael Carnaval is with me, and we always look forward to this program because it's sort of a end of the month recap of where we've been and hopefully where we're going.
Yes.
So, you know, for a topsy-turvy month, we're not bad.
No, I mean, historically, you know, July is usually a good month. You know, the last 5 Julys were up, and this month makes it 6. Yeah. We're up 1.7%. So, you know, do 1.7% every month. I don't think anybody's going to complain.
No, and you know, we're still heading into the fall, and of course, I mean, with all that's going on in the country, with the violence and the fights and the battles, and the virus, we're in great shape.
It's kind of amazing when you think about it, all that has happened this year.
Yeah.
And the market year to date, it's down 8%, but you know, it's really next to nothing with everything that's gone on.
Oh.
I mean, you're afraid to turn the nightly news on.
Well, I mean, that's the sad part is you put it on and I mean, the first 3 minutes you're depressed.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on? I mean, look, someone said to me, I'm amazed what's going on in Florida. I said, what amazes you about a governor who says he's going to open?
Yeah.
And he opens in March.
Yeah.
What amazes you when everybody else cut back, he opened.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's paying the price.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's paying a dear price.
Oh, yes.
Same with the guy in Texas.
Yep.
He opened. Mm-hmm. At least he now recognizes it. He says he's made a mistake.
Yeah.
And he says, please stay home and wear a mask. Mm-hmm. Not the guy in
Florida.
Florida.
No, not the guy in Florida.
No, and I mean, the numbers are going through the
Oh,
roof.
yeah, it's you know, 10,000 a day that are,
oh, yeah.
you know,
and,
coming
and,
down
and then,
with it.
And well, you see the problem you got down there, Florida's got an elderly population.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of their numbers are startling because it's the younger population.
Right.
But that's the gang that when he opened the bars,
flocked
in.
Oh, yeah. They flocked in.
You know, and look, we even had a situation down the Cape where in Falmouth, they have lifeguards for the summer. And the lifeguards had a get-together last weekend, a little party.
Crazy.
7 of them are now got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you sit back and say, hello? You know, I mean.
Well, it's kind of amazing because I can see, well, you believe in this, you believe in that, but how you cannot believe in scientific evidence, how people say they don't believe that is it's hard to understand, really.
You know, not only that, but how difficult is it when you go out of the house to wear a mask?
You got to do it.
How difficult. You put it on and you wear it. I mean,
that's what needs to be done.
And not only are you protecting yourself, but others from you.
Yeah.
And so it baffles me. I mean, I've gone out, I get out of the post office in the morning and get my mail at the post office box. And I put my little mask on and I get out and go in. Amazes me. Even the big sign on the door, must wear a mask.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's the number of people get out of their car, and they're old people.
Oh yeah.
Not young people.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife was with me, and I see this guy get out of the car. He's probably 60, no mask. He's out of the car, and I'm sitting next.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the window down, and I leaned down. I said, excuse me. He turns around, he looks at me, he says, yeah? I said, are you immune? You got some kind of a vaccine? I'm not wearing a mask. He walked in. My wife says, "Will you stop it? Someday some guy's going to
Somebody's
come
gonna go
over,
after you."
pull out a gun. And
Yeah,
shoot you."
well, you got to be careful. There's a lot
You
of
know,
crazy
he'll
people.
pull out a gun and you're dead right in the car.
The guy's crazy already for not wearing one,
Yeah.
right?
And so my wife said, don't do it again.
Yeah.
I said, but and it's true.
But it's so obvious. I mean, we're not asking you to hop on one leg.
No,
Make it difficult. You put it on, you strap it. If you got two ears,
Yeah.
I mean, it holds
Put 'em
itself
on.
up.
Yeah. And you get it done and you move on.
Yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable.
I
But
mean,
anyway,
there are things that can be done to, shorten this, and
Yeah.
you don't want to do anything
well,
that's going to prolong
I mean,
it.
if it was proven that they really don't work, that's one thing.
Right.
But there is now no doubt at all
Absolutely.
that if you wear the masks and you distance and you stay home, New York proved it.
Yeah.
Massachusetts proved it. Maine's proved it.
Yep.
The numbers go down.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So, it's not luck.
Right.
So
I mean, so as we began, we said, we're 7 full months into 2020, and if we said on January 1st, hey, this is what's going to happen, you're going to have riots in major cities, you're going to have deaths in major cities, you're going to have a virus that goes right across the country. What do you think is going to happen to the stock market? Most people say, oh, it's going to be down big.
yeah.
I don't think many people would have said it would be down 8%.
No.
You know?
And the naysayers, when it did go down to 18, will say,
Here
there
it
it
is.
is. And then it just boom, 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 boom,
Yep.
turned right around
Yep.
and slowly came back.
And if we look over the past 52 weeks, what's this happened over the past year?
Yeah.
Down less than 4%.
Yeah.
With all we've gone through, I think it's
And
remarkable.
And then we still have, although I'm trying to figure out what Santa Claus is going to wear. If he's going to wear a mask,
Would have to.
he's going to have to wear a mask.
Would have to.
If we don't get this thing cleared up.
We don't get it wrapped
But
up.
nevertheless, and now they got the stimulus, if they can ever get it together.
Yeah.
They now the president has come up and he wants it increased. He wants it more than 1,200.
Yeah.
And he's figuring, well, if I give them more money, I'll get their vote.
That's exactly right. It's all political.
Oh yeah.
All political.
And so that's going to be interesting because it's going to put a lot of because the votes are going to be in the Senate. The Senate's got to approve this.
Right.
The House is done. They're not going to get what they want.
Right.
But the point I'm making is there's a lot of senators up for re-election. So as much as they don't want to do that, that's going to be
They may
tempting.
need to
That's going to be
personally.
tempting for them.
Right.
Say, look, we got you 1,500 instead of 1,200.
Right.
But we'll see, because that's going to be, when that happens, just like the last time, that's what really pushed the market back up when they got that money.
When they got that money, that's exactly
They all
right.
went out, boom, boom, spending it.
Right.
And
And it looks like it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Maybe as early as next month.
yeah. Oh, it's going to come out in August.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the good news is that everything's in place.
Right.
They're just going to put the same thing in.
Yeah.
So
Don't have to rework it.
it'll work.
Interest rates continue to go down. No surprise there. The 30-year Treasury a month ago was 1.41. It's now 1.20. The 13-week, 5-week, and 5-year, and 10-year are now all under 0.55%. Yesterday, the 5-year hit an all-time low of 0.25%.
Wow.
Imagine earning 0.25%
Cent
for
on a
5
5-year
years
investment. Yeah.
in a government bond.
Yeah.
It's kind of where we are right now.
Yeah. Well, you know what else, though? I saw it today. For the first time in history, there's a bank came out with mortgage rates 1.98 for a 15-year fix.
Wow.
15-year fix, 1.98. How do you not jump on that one?
No.
If you've got you got a 20 or 30 years left on a mortgage,
And good credit.
because at that low rate, your payments definitely you can afford to go from 20 down to 15.
Right. Right.
And absorb it. So
Yep.
we'll see what happens with that.
We like to take a look at those three technical indicators. I don't want to infer there's only three, but I tend to pick out the three that I think give the most concise view short term on the market. 200-day New York Stock Exchange moving average. We know that's the average price of a stock listed on the New York Stock Exchange over the past 52 weeks. A month ago it was at 77%. Today it's at 46%. That's a good sign, meaning you don't have a lot of excess pricing. No. Then we take a look at the volatility index. A month ago 33%, today 26%. That's a negative. You want to see more volatility. You want to see more fear in the market because that can kind of help lower prices. And the last one is the oscillator. A month ago it was 52. Today it's 77. Still in sort of anything between 20 and 80 is considered various stages of fair value.
Yeah.
So the market is not, I don't think anyways, overpriced, nor is it really cheap. It's kind of in the middle.
Yeah. There's another thing too that was in one of those bills that they passed. You don't have to take, if you're over 70 and a half this year, you don't have to take your money.
Right. You're required distribution.
You can required distribution. You can roll it back over.
Yep.
And so that's a positive.
That definitely is.
For somebody over 70 or a half, because you can't really do anything with it. You have to take it, now.
Pay taxes on it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that you can't even put money in anymore.
Right.
Now with you've got a dividend coming, a big one. Mm-hmm. They could be 13, 14, 15 grand. Mm-hmm. Roll it.
Right.
If you don't need the money, roll it.
If you don't need to take it.
Because boy, that's going to really be a boost for you.
It is, just on the tax savings alone.
Yeah.
Forget anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then we like to move on to, what happened during the month? What was the major news? International Monetary Fund cut their global economic forecast for the year to -5% from -3%. They cut next year, and they look next year for the U.S. economy to grow by 4.5%. That's actually pretty good because we're not growing right now, right?
No.
Not interestingly, or not surprisingly, they expect China to grow the fastest. What was surprising, they said the United Kingdom would grow second fastest.
Wow.
So maybe all that Brexit dealings that Great Britain went through, maybe they're now gonna get the rebound.
They're going to get the rebound. Yeah. The thing that amazes me is, I was talking to some people, some medical people. 80% of our medicine is made in China. You know what they could do to us?
Oh, yeah.
You think about that.
Yeah.
They did it 4 or 5 years ago, not meaning to, I assume. Mm-hmm. They killed a whole batch of dogs because they had the wrong ingredient in it in dog food.
Yeah.
Poor dogs were eating it and flopping over. And they couldn't figure out what it was. Well, it was China. And if nothing else, I've already called a couple of representatives that I know, McGovern and Neal, on each side of us, and said, hey, what are we doing about that? You guys spend all the time arguing about what color the flag should be.
Yeah.
Why don't we spend some time on getting these companies, make the pills back here, please?
Oh, yeah. Well, if I've talked to people who, take prescriptions, most people do. They're amazed at where their drugs come from. They look at the label, made in Germany, product of Ireland, China.
Yeah.
It's like nothing gets made here anymore.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. India is another big source.
That's right.
But the ones in Ireland are our companies who open places over there.
Okay.
But they're still made in Ireland.
Yep.
It's cheaper for them to buy a plant and make them in Ireland, ship them here, than it is to make them here.
Yet we can't buy from Canada.
No.
Go figure.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anytime the Congress wants to get serious,
right, they can do something.
They can do something.
Right. They just don't want to get serious. Interest rates. Nobody raised. When I say nobody, no central banks raised interest rates during the month. Canada, the Bank of England, the European Central Bank, and our own Federal Reserve all met and every one of them said they're going to make no changes to rates. Wow. So people who are looking for income by way of interest rates, again, you're going to have to
The
keep...
wrong avenue.
Yep, you're going to have to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
No, I mean, and as I shared, the mortgage rate.
Right.
Down to, a bank came out today, well, the new rates on average went down to 2.2.
Yep.
And this bank obviously is looking for business, came up with a 1.98,
Yep.
you know, for a 15-year fix.
Yeah, it's amazing what has happened. The Federal Reserve during their meeting this month said, yeah, we're going to keep rates low for as long as we need to help the economy. They did say Congress has to continue to do more, you
Yeah.
know, to get us on the right path again. So they didn't say anything, the Powell, the chairman of the Fed, didn't say anything that would give you any indication rates are going to start to go up.
Yeah. No, I mean, and how could they?
They really can't.
They can't.
They really can't.
You know, and you know, and you look at things. I mean, big ticket items. The automobile industry, they're giving them away.
Yep.
I mean, I saw a deal now. Well, in fact, they had it a year ago. That's how I got a car for Jen. But Mercedes now has a deal where they have a three-year plan, but they pay the first 3 payments.
Okay.
So you get you buy a car, and they pay the first 3 payments, and it's 0 interest.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know they're desperate to sell cars.
Right. Oh,
I mean, you don't have to drive far down Route 20 to see them stacked up in the yards.
I mean,
They
from
got-
Auburn to Framingham.
Oh yeah,
That's all you see.
that's all you see. And
Yeah.
and it's you mentioned Framingham. I got off the turnpike and I went by, I think it's Bernardi Toyota. When you get off the turnpike on Route 9, he's got a lot up and back, and as far as you can see up the hill. And you know, well, I know they are because I see the ads. They got 2019s they haven't
Yeah.
sold yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and they're they got to give them to you.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it's
I mean,
amazing.
it is. It's unbelievable.
It really is.
You know.
Oil kind of made news. Before that, the world lost another perfect rated country in July. Canada got its credit rating downgraded to AA+.
Oh wow.
That leaves only 9 countries that are rated AAA, the highest rating. U.S. is one of them. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
we have a AAA.
A AAA rating with one of the agencies.
I was going to say.
The other 2 are less than AAA.
Yeah, I was going to say. Really?
Yeah, yeah. The only one of the rating agencies has us perfect.
With the debt that we carry, I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
in the trillions of dollars debt, and they're not making
All-time record, all-time high of debt.
and they're making it worse.
Yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable. Anyway,
Oil. Interesting that OPEC oil production has been the lowest in the month of July since the Gulf War in 1991. They pumped 23 million barrels a day. We pump 11 million, but OPEC, of course, is a consortium of a
Yeah.
lot of countries.
yeah, there's 7 or 8 countries.
We're
yeah.
still a
Single.
singly the biggest, oil producer. Then we turn to the election, Trump versus Biden. Poll came out. There have been several, but anywhere from 10 to 15 percentage point lead for Biden.
Yep.
So Trump came out and said, "Hey, if Biden wins, your 401k is going to disappear. You're going to lose it all. So you better vote for me." A few days later, a week or so later, he came out with we may have to postpone the election
Yeah.
because of
Mail-in
mail-in
ballot.
ballots.
Yeah. How are they going to count them? Yeah.
So that's amazing. You know, it never ends. 3+ years in, and
Yeah.
the president is still saying these things that I think for most people don't make sense.
Well, you know, one of the things that I struggle with personally. Now, one of the things we have to understand and accept is educationally, the Northeast is way ahead of the Midwest, educationally. The average grade level of the Midwest is 8th grade. out in this part of the country, the Northeast region, our average grade range is like 10th or 11th grade.
Okay.
So there's a little more education. But I find it very difficult to believe. And then it goes back to being a supremacist. Believe it with all your heart that nothing will deter you. But how anybody can listen to it and not scratch their head.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So what's Trump saying about because we had that information that I shared with you
right.
that kind of says that's not true.
Well, he would probably say it was fake news.
Oh, but that's no question.
No.
No question, that's fake news.
I mean, most likely.
Yeah.
We do have some negatives. Public buying of stocks has been increasing. Historically, that's a negative because the public tends to start buying stocks after they go up rather than when they're going down. And we know the stock market has recovered. So that's a negative. That coupled with the fact that insider buying by corporate insiders, it is at its lowest level since 2000. That means the people who are running the companies, who should know what's going on,
Yeah.
they're not doing as much buying.
Oh.
So you got the public who tends to come in late,
Yeah.
and the insiders who are buying the least amount of stock since the year 2000. Kind of says, well, not saying the market's going to go down, but maybe the market's not going to keep going up a lot either.
No.
We might kind of be where we are.
Yeah, just hold
right
on.
now.
Yeah.
But with every negative, we like to find something positive.
Yeah.
The Red Sox.
Oh, please.
No. The only game that matters is opening day.
Okay.
We know the Red Sox have been around for over 100 years.
Yep. 112.
They have played up to this year, they've played 11 times the Orioles at the Fenway opener. Red Sox have won 6 of those games. When they've won those 6 games, the market is up an average of 7%.
Oh, very good.
When they've lost 5 of them, when those years they lost the 5 games, the Dow is down an average of 1%.
Ah.
Now we know
They won.
opening day 13-2.
Yep.
So maybe the Red Sox positive offsets some of those negative sentiments.
Yeah, well, see, that's it. We got something to look forward with the Red Sox.
Right. And it doesn't matter if they
The
can't
rest of
win.
the year doesn't matter anyway.
They can't win. They can't.
Well, they don't have any pitchers unless you want to go.
Right. Yeah. And they can't be 1-59 because they won last night.
Yeah, they won. Yeah.
Yeah.
But boy, they looked. I watched them a couple of times, and
That's tough.
it's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, he
really
brings
is
these
tough.
guys in from the bullpen you never heard of,
Yeah.
and they get whacked around. I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
The good thing is maybe the season won't last the full 60 games.
Well, the way they're going, it's not going to.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with the Marlins. They can't play any games.
Right. And today it was announced 2 people on the Phillies tested positive. So
Yeah. So there they go. They're gone.
you know,
They can't play.
it seems to be
Yeah.
spreading out.
Quick.
Yep.
You know, and once it starts,
It's hard to stop it when
Yeah.
they're all confined, and no
Yeah, they
matter
get-
how much precautions you take.
I mean, they ultimately run by each other, bump into each other.
Of course.
Touch each. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't comprehend how they're going to play football.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't know how they're going to play football.
No.
Unless they all wear masks under their helmets.
Well,
You know.
not only are you just running by or touching them. In
We have to wear
football,
gloves.
you're grabbing them. You're holding
you
on
have
to
to wear,
them.
you have to wear gloves.
Yeah.
And wear a mask. I don't know how they're going to do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it
No, they
doesn't
can't.
happen.
Yeah, they can't.
You know.
They can't.
Well, we like to look at 4 economic reports every month to kind of gauge, how the economy's going. Inflation. We talked about interest rates being so low. There's a reason. There's no inflation. Consumer prices are up an average of 0.6% for the past year. Producer prices are actually negative 0.8% for the past year. The Fed's target for inflation is 2%.
2%. Yeah.
We're nowhere near that.
Near that. No.
So how can interest rates go up?
I've seen it at the grocery stores. There's a lot of deals. Buy one get one.
Oh, yeah.
Then buy 2 for $6.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
and so you take advantage of those.
Oh, yeah.
And your grocery bills $15 less
Yeah.
than you normally spent.
Yep.
You know, so it's. And I saw a story last night that appliances now are going to be hard to get because they all closed their factories in
Okay.
March,
All right.
and so they have no backup inventory.
Yep.
And they've shipped everything they had.
So there's going to be a lag.
There was a
between-
fellow on last night who said he ordered a refrigerator for somebody. Normally it's here in 2 days. And he's like, I called the supplier, and they called me back and said, maybe 4 weeks we can get one for you.
Yeah.
They're just starting to make them again. They're just going back to work. And they've exhausted all their inventory.
Yeah.
It's already been all shipped out.
Yeah.
So the warehouses have nothing.
Right.
And so they're saying that's going to be the next big crunch is, you know, and it's like someone said, it's not, you know, if your refrigerator goes, you need a
You
refrigerator.
need a refrigerator. Yeah, it's not a luxury.
Yeah. So that's going to be that could be a real problem.
Yeah,
for people.
that would be another thing that could hurt the economy. Leading economic indicators, snapshot of how the economy is doing, 10 different components. Stock market is one of them. We like to focus on 2, manufacturing work week and consumer expectations. And we like to focus on those 2 because those are the 2 biggest weighted components. Combined, they make up 42% of the index. Manufacturing work week, second best of the 10 components this month for the second month in a row. So people aren't coming back to work. You know, even though we lost a lot of jobs,
Yeah.
they're starting to come back.
Yeah.
That's a positive. Consumer expectations is still negative, and has been negative for 4 months in a row. You know, a lot of that might have to do with the fact that, as we talked about earlier, you turn on the nightly news and there's not much to get excited about. Jobless claims. Remember when we were talking to that streak, umpteen weeks in a row, under 300,000?
Oh yeah.
Long gone. Last 2 weeks have been up, and we've had 1 million layoffs for 19 weeks in a row. So although we saw in the manufacturing work week, people are coming back, there are still a lot of people losing their job.
Yep.
We haven't quite got to the balance point
No.
yet.
No. It's not going to get better with now. I think it was 29 states
seeing
showing
them.
increases.
Right.
In coronavirus sicknesses and in deaths.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, we're over 150,000.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
a lot of people.
something. Yeah, it is. I mean,
and that's in 6 months.
right. Yeah, since March, really.
Yeah.
Last thing we look at is the employment report. Jobless claims are great. They tell you how many people lost their jobs, but the employment report shows how many people got a job. Non-farm payrolls in the month of June rose by 4.8 million. That was the best monthly increase in history.
Wow.
So people are coming back to work. Historically, the economy needs 150,000 new non-farm jobs a month to grow. So we are coming back. Labor force rose by 1.7 million during the month. That's good because history shows people only look for a job if they think they can find one.
Yeah.
Unemployment fell to 11.1% from 13.3%. So economic news isn't all that bad. From where we've been,
Oh, yeah.
we have made progress.
Yep.
Certainly not back to where we were.
Well, the hospitality industry and the tourism industry, that's where they're taking the pounding.
Right.
And,
Right.
and now it's not going to, you take those southern states, they're just getting hammered down
Right.
there. So they can't bring them back.
No.
You know, so.
No, that's hurting. We like to look at, well, the next month, which is August, what's going to happen there? Well, we don't know, but we can look at what history tells us. Since 1950, August has not been a good month. It ranks 10th of the 12 months. And 4 of the last 5 years, August has been down. So, you know, a lot of the returns you can get in the stock market are being able to control expectations and emotions. July historically is a good month, turned out to be a good month. Okay, August historically is not a good month. So if it goes down, you shouldn't be too surprised and it shouldn't alter your thinking.
And the good news is we are heading into traditionally the best months.
the strongest period of the year.
is the fourth quarter.
Right.
So so that's the only other good news.
That's exactly right.
And then we got an election. So
That's
there's
right.
going to be a lot to see and a lot to watch.
A lot in the fourth quarter.
But
Absolutely.
But anyway, Democratic presidents, the return on investment in the market is 10.6,
Okay.
and Republican presidents, the return on the market is 4.8.
Yeah,
So
the
the
numbers don't
market,
lie.
people in the market better start getting to like Joe Biden.
I guess so. I guess so. And that may be one of the reasons the market's holding up, because he's ahead in the polls.
Well,
You know.
it's amazing. But to your point, I mean, some of the statements that we get are really scary.
Yeah.
Really scary. Well, Michael, once again, thanks very much. Another great program.
Yeah, definitely.
Good to see you. We'll be back next year.
Absolutely.
No, next month.
Next month.
Next month, I'm sorry.
And
There you
next
are,
year.
folks. Another Conversations With.